What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are recording this episode of the Hashtag Saints OTA podcast. It's Tuesday night, June 6th. The New Orleans Saints wrapped up their final day of OTAs today. That had media access before weather pushed the OTAs inside. Next week we have the mandatory mini camp, but the story that dominated the news today from OTAs was Michael Thomas was present. He wasn't practicing, but he was present. He was on the field catching some passes from Derek Carr. He didn't participate in any 7-on-7s or any full, but when asked after OTA practice, he said that by training camp, when training camp comes in July, day one, he's going to be full speed. Now, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, and I think that Saints fans should be cautiously optimistic in terms of what they do with this news, because I almost went back to our tweets from last training camp when our boy Chris, shout out to White Wealth, made that video of us talking about Michael Thomas being at training camp practice, and then like a week or so later he was there with the footage of him running. Almost everything that's happened to Michael Thomas in terms of injuries, you can kind of put back on the Saints, right? So I don't want this to be like a blame session of him being blamed for his terrible luck recently of injuries that's caused him to miss essentially like almost three full seasons, which is insane. But crazy. It's good. It's good to see. It was good to see, and I saw the timeline. Was hype about it, and saw like his quote about him and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed being like the big three, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, don't say Traquan's name in that, bitch.
No respect for Traquan, bro.
As there fucking shouldn't be, bro. But just as a Saints fan, just seeing him, catching passes from Derek Carr, hearing him potentially say that he'll be out there in training camp week one, it like for this team to be whatever, for this team to be, we talk about this team should be able to win 10, 11 games, and hashtag on paper, there should be enough talent for them to do so. He's a key component in that. But also, I think the Saints should kind of take the approach that they kind of took with AK this offseason with Michael Thomas. Like they signed Jamal Williams, they drafted Keandre Miller, and it's great that Michael Thomas is potentially going to be out there for training camp, but I wouldn't. That should not be a reason of why you wouldn't trade for a Hunter Renfrow, or if Nuke Hopkins is wanting to come and it makes sense financially, him being quote unquote back, that shouldn't stop you from potentially signing another player or trading for a player.
No question. And that's the thing, bro. It's just like we're to that point with Michael Thomas, and there's nothing to do with him, but it's just like the reality of the situation. Like the dude just ain't been there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was so sad for us to get like a little taste last year, coming back week 1.
Taste, bro. Just a little
had that
taste.
he just had that great second half. He was foaming at the mouth, just like, oh.
You ever know, you ever have like a situation where like you trying to get, maybe there's someone out there and you talk to her and her cleavage, you just like, damn, them titties look amazing. Like, ooh, I wonder how they look. And you finally get like the nude, bro. Like it took you some time. And you got, oh, here we go. And then boom, it's just taken away. You can't get him in person. You can't touch him, can't feel him. That's what that felt like, bro. It was just like, just got taste. Like I want to touch it. Like just want to touch it. Couldn't touch it. It would have been different if he was like shit week 1, bro. Like if he just just wasn't right. But to see that he was like still him, bro, that's what it made it.
Well, it was crazy because it was like you watched him like work through it that whole game. Because remember, like the first quarter or so, he was like he just wasn't looking right. It was like, damn, like Thomas looking rusty, which was kind of expected. Like it was like, okay, he's a little rusty. Then man, he just started vibing in that second half and caught 2 touchdowns. It was like, oh man, let's go. And then that was kind of it for the rest of the season. Like he played a couple of more games, but he was like injured, and Jameis was terrible, and it just
hurt. Had a broke back. It was just bad, bro. It was bad. It was bad team management all around. That anyway. Sorry to your point of him being back. Like, oh, man,
and it's like even if he makes it to week 1 healthy, excuse me, it's still gonna be tight cheeks, bro. It's gonna be like,
yeah,
can they make it to week 2?
Yeah,
can they make it to week 3? It's just like we just haven't seen it, bro. So it's just gonna be so fascinating to see how all this works out. But man, like if capital if he comes back and he's 80% of the Michael Thomas we know, 85%.
Man, I would take 70. If he 70, even if he's 70% but still available and plays majority of the games.
What is 70% of my time? What would that look like as a football player to
you? That's a good question.
Like I'm thinking, like, okay, he never was a speed guy, but maybe knock a little speed off him. Maybe more like a Colston, where he's more of a box out guy.
Well, I was thinking more. Where did Anquan Bolden go after he left Arizona? And you had like a. Yeah, like he had like a little stint with, what I'm saying? Like
he had a nice stint with the Ravens.
He did. I'm misremembering. He did have like that's what I'm saying, right? Like can he be that and just be available? Like for me, I would take as a fan, I would take Michael Thomas being 70% of him from his peak, but able to play at least 13, 14 games and then potentially in the playoffs rather than him being 100% for like 5 games and then miss the rest of the season.
Right. Straight up. And it just adds such a dynamic to the whole wide receiver group because just the way it's structured, because you got your 2 speed guys with Shaheed and Olave, and you got your physical receiver with Kamara, you got Juwan Johnson, you got Foster Monroe, and then you got, a plethora of other receivers that's pretty much in competition. Brian Edwards, A.T. Perry, Traquan Smith.
I had to put something out for Traquan. I don't mean to cut you off. I tweeted this. I tweeted this earlier to our dude John Hendricks. That's when I'm reading stuff regarding OTAs and things like that. I go to John. That's
John be dropping like 15,000 words on him, boy. John
boom,
playing,
boom. Light work to John. He said the beat's hot. Let me go in on that bitch. But John had a bullet point from today's OTA write-up that he did today. I'm going to read it verbatim. Traquan Smith had a really good showing on the day. While it's OTAs, one of the things Allen said after practice that he doesn't know if Smith has been fully healthy the past few years, but is now. There will be some good competition at this position. Man, I have gotten the Traquan Smith lifetime story enough times. I don't need to watch this. Don't need to watch it.
I
Don't need to watch it, bro. and we were just talking about last week of like him not being at OTA. So he did return, obviously, and he did have a good. And it's like you said last week. He should look good in practice.
Did he make an entrance? Like, did he come in like, I'm here, baby?
It'd been the funniest shit. Remember, like, if you watching Hard Knocks and like huge stars that like would make these obnoxious, just gaudy entrances and stuff. Yeah, could you imagine Traquan did that shit, bro? He come to the last day of OTAs with like holding three crocodiles and alligators, just like he walking dogs, bro. Like,
fuck out of here, bro.
Get this man to Denver, please. We'll
take a 2025 sixth and be happy with it.
Happy with it, bro. But I've just given a shout out to John Hendrickson and his just thorough reporting. Anything else you want to add on Mike Thomas? I as a fan, you do like I like seeing Derek Carr. And he doesn't just do this with Mike Thomas. If you kind of read a lot of the reports, he is taking time on task to working with Chris Olave, Mike Thomas, Shaheed, whoever the wide receivers are, Juwan Johnson. It's just little things like that. And I don't want to make it sound like Jameis did not do these things or he wasn't doing these things. But I feel like it's being reported and written about more than Jameis's time as quote unquote starting quarterback.
No question. And look, man, it's just been such a transition, the last couple of years. And I think, for Derek Carr, it's huge for him, bro. Like, he's coming off a down year. A lot of people think he washed up, you know what I'm saying? Some people never thought he was really good. So it's kind of huge for him to hit the ground running. He's coming in, got the contract, team that believes in him. He got to come and produce. So, like, the pressure's on him, too. I'm sure he's feeling like, look, I got to get with all these guys and make sure we working together, we on the same page. Because, anything, if they come out sluggish, the first couple of weeks just looking off, it's gonna be ugly, bro. So it's up to him to kind of give it. It makes me wonder like how they approach preseason because
that's gonna be interesting, man.
I'm usually like, man, I don't want to see nobody. Like, I just sit everybody. I don't want to see him at all. But I mean, looking at how they started last year, they might need a little preseason. Derek Carr might need a little more than one series in the third preseason game.
I agree, man. I know most people will be like, nah, sit him. But it's something about that ability to there's nothing you can do in practice or even joint practices. It doesn't simulate an actual game.
At all, man. At all. Quarterbacks can't get hit. They don't let you tackle to the ground. It's it's not really football until you at least get in the preseason game, and that is at least some semblance of football. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting how they approach that, but we'll see when we get there. But other than that, man, like you said, it's good that Derek Carr is communicating, talking to everybody, getting with his receivers. It's it looks like a professional organization right here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it looks like a professional organization. And look, speaking of Jameis, from what I've heard, Jameis looking good too. I don't think he's like 100% healthy. I think he's still dealing with like minor issues with his back and stuff like that. But he's moving around good.
Just not move on from that so fast. You just said
Right.
This man is still dealing with issues for this.
Yeah, man.
What? All right, I'm not. You know what?
Mike Triplett apparently is this guy because like he just be letting it loose to Mike Triplett, and he talked to him and he was like, he's still not healthy, but like that's part of the reason he stayed was he could be here, play number 2, get himself healthy, and I'm sure part of another reason was he didn't get like a massive contract anywhere else, but still he stayed here to be somewhere he's comfortable. And can get himself right, and hopefully next year,
right,
can try to really compete for a starting job somewhere, if not here. But it's it's good for him to just at least be healthier than he was last year, and plus not have that pressure of trying to. Because remember last year, bro, he wasn't even competing; he was the penciled-in starter,
bro.
And I just remember reading the reports last year and being like, like, like Bobby Bear, look, say what you want about it. He's not like the greatest commentator or whatever. But like he just kept talking about like, man, watching Jameis at training camp, and I'm just not seeing it.
I remember that. I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, I was just like, it's just interesting from a quarterback to say that. It's just like, oh, okay, interesting. And then he got hurt. It's all that, so it's such a story with Jameis, but now we ain't got to worry about that. Plus, you got, Jake Hayner. We'll see what that leads to. Nice little QB room, bro.
It is. This is on my radar, and maybe it shouldn't be. Is it just as a fan, or especially because we I don't know, maybe we're like the OTA or kind of just in the mindset that there's something a little too like just being there, right, for players and whatever, what have. Does it bother you? Is it starting to bother you that AK's been going like? Okay,
yes.
Okay. It bothers me too, man. Like it. Maybe you can kind of go back and lean on with like the legal stuff, but like we know the Saints, bro. Like they wouldn't have made him available to speak, and if they had, like. Obviously, he's going to go. His same response he's been given is like, my attorney advised me, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's one of those legal situations. There's not much to say about it. Like
it's just, it just feels, I don't know, something a little. It just bothers me a little bit. It may at the end of the day, it may not mean a single thing, but it's propped on my radar.
I mean, to me, it's a little disappointing because you watch the team bring in all these different running backs,
right?
You're looking at a possible suspension this year. I mean, it'll just be good to be there and be like, look, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And look, the league is down on their key. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's down on their key. I mean, I've seen all these top 10, top 20 RB lists, AK like 12, 13, 14. And I can't really argue against it. I'm just like, yeah.
Until we see otherwise, like
I feel like my eye test when I see him, he doesn't look any different. Like it's not like he's washed. I don't see a washed player, but it's the offense. It's everything. It's everything that goes to being productive that's hurting him. But to me, I mean, like if I was him, man, I would want to be trying to get everything worked out with Derek Carr right now. But right now, Jamal Williams. I mean, he's getting the majority of stats right now because it's pretty much him and the rookie. And the rookie, Miller, he's injured right now. So, I mean, he's working back, but he's not like getting all the snaps, or whatever. So, really, Jamal Williams been getting majority of the snaps, which is good for him. Like that's a positive. Like he should be hitting the ground running, man.
Running.
He's been getting all the snaps. He hyped. He just like just like Mark Ingram was, just dancing and all that. So he should fit right in, bro.
Okay, I wanted to bring it up because
Yeah, it was on
it's
my
just
radar,
been
bro.
mine too, man. Anything else? Like we're not planning to go super long on this pod. We just wanted to kind of have a quick touch in, touch
Yeah.
base.
Only thing that's just stand out to me, and we knew it was gonna be this way. We knew it, but still looking at it, it's offensive line, bro. Ew, just I look at these names: Storm Norton. Ew, just this is right tackle Storm Norton. Like what is going on here, bro?
It's like the whole, like Pete's not there, Ryan Ramczyk. You know, I shouldn't say he hasn't been there. So Ryan Ramczyk's been there off and on throughout OTAs.
We got to ice that knee up, baby. That knee.
Trevor Penning's there, but can't practice. Isn't practicing. He's not in a boot. But I've said on this podcast that the injury that he sustained was potentially worse than the injury that Caesar. Like they were both Liz Frank injuries, but
because Reeves has been getting work on the field, and
right.
Penning is just chilling.
I'm gonna say it until I'm blue in the face, man. Like all those weapons and nice additions and all that's great and fine and dandy, but if the offensive line, like I'm not even saying they have to be top 5, right. But can you just be average? Like just don't be terrible
and play together,
yeah, because that's the big thing.
When was the last time we seen the starting 5? I just don't remember.
Was it the game that Penning got hurt? I don't even know if that was the starting 5. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Couldn't tell
Chargers preseason. That Chargers
preseason game, bro.
Had us hype, boys.
Not falling for the banana in the tailpipe trick again, bro. Not doing it. I'll be at the. So I think their first preseason games against the Chiefs, and then their second preseason game is against the Chargers, and they're going to be in LA leading up to that and having the joint practices. I don't think I'll be able to attend in the joint practices because I'll be in Canada for a concert, but I will be at the Chargers preseason game. So I'll have the eyes, all 22, give some thoughts about what I see at that preseason game, but I'm not falling for it again, man. I ain't gonna do it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah, man.
Defensively,
so offensive line is just it's gonna be a question until we get into the season, because even through training camp, it's not gonna be, all together. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be one of the things we just going to wait and see.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a wait and see type of situation, and I just it's until like you said, until I see it, and we can at least say, okay, this is who the offensive line is, and this is what we're moving forward with. It'll give me more comfort, and let's be real, bro. James Hurst is a key component to this team.
Key, bro.
Speaking of things on my radar, as this is a quick aside, as I'm on kind of my Twitter, I have a window or tab with Twitter open, and it gives you the who to follow, and it's recommending that I follow Bank of America, and Bank of America's little avatar logo is the rainbow. Man, companies be Black History Month, Pride Month, bro. They
changed, bro. It's changed. They used to they used to avoid that shit. Now they lean in.
As soon as that calendar fucking turns, bro, get dropped like a bat.
I mean, it just makes me why is there a Bank of America float at the Pride Parade? What's going on here? on the bigger picture. Like it's not even nothing to do with like Pride Month, but it's just like from a corporate standpoint, we know corporations, bro. We know what they care about. We know they don't care
Bottom
about
dollar, bro.
shit.
Bottom dollar.
It's like, what is going on here? This is very fascinating to me.
I tweeted this a couple of days ago just because, Captain Terrell tweeted it, and I don't know if she was the first or the only person. I'm pretty sure she wasn't the only person, but like it was like the update for Marcus May's like next court date, trial dates in July. Yeah. And it's just like why couldn't they just pay Marcus Williams his $2 million, bro? Like, just $2 million, bro. Like, I don't even know what Marcus May's status with the team is. Like, is he gonna get suspended? I don't know, Ryan. I don't.
It's crazy. I was listening to Greg Cosell. I think he was on the Ross Tucker podcast, and it could have been something else. I don't know, but he was talking to. They were talking to. No, it was Doug Farrar, and they were talking about.
Doug. I've been blocked by Doug for a couple of years now, bro.
You blocked him or you blocked me?
He blocked me.
Oh, that's weird.
That's great. It was the year the Chiefs made the Super Bowl the first time, and he was like waxing like poetically about like Tyreek. Like it was like to the point like the like it was just like, and I may have quote tweeted it because you know how I am on Twitter. I don't give a fuck who you are, but I quote tweeted and I was like, are we gonna talk about like him like being like a terrible person? And then he blocked me. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
But anyway, it was like they were talking about like why too deep, too deep safeties, too deep defenses has become such a thing in the NFL lately. And what does this mean? Why is this happening? And one of the reasons Greg Cosell was talking about is just so like college is not putting out that deep center field safety anymore. You know what I'm saying?
They don't exist, man.
It just don't exist in college. And when they do exist, you kind of got to squint and see like, maybe we could play this role, but they're not playing that in college, And Marcus Williams, he played that at Utah, and he played that in the NFL. He was a center field safety with great range, ball skills, all that stuff.
Questionable tackling skills. He was who he was.
Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy to be like they just couldn't up there too. I mean, and look, from a financial standpoint, maybe they looked at it and say, maybe it's just not valuable. Maybe they said, hey, we could find two safeties, play too deep, move guys around. Just like you said, bro, like Dennis Allen is almost a mirror image of Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like Sean Payton, he looked at wide receivers and it was like, man, I could get some guidance from, Timbuktu University. As long as he could run this route and that route, we can make something work.
Austin Carr, Keith Kirkwood, the Brandon Coleman, the list goes on.
And DA probably the same way, bro, especially with safeties. He's like, yeah, man, is he long? Does he have we could, as long as he can get to the spot on time, we'll be all right, But I don't know, bro. I don't know, like I thought Malcolm Jenkins, when he came back, I thought he made a difference,
He absolutely did. He absolutely did.
Marcus Williams made a difference, bro. Like that was some difference-making defense. Marcus May? I gotta see it, bro.
I don't know, man. I
see it. Honey Badger?
Honey, I know they drafted Jordan Howden in the draft, bro. Can we get Daniel Sorensen back, bro?
Daniel Sorensen, man. Pop making plays, bro.
Plays, bro. It was good to see Brian Breesy kind of getting some first team snaps on the defensive line, and like we previously said, it was just good that he's just healthy, like just that he's not hurt. So that was good to see. Just keep a little thing in John Hendricks write up. Kind of made mention of Malik Flowers, undrafted free agent.
Keep hearing about him, bro.
It's early, bro. Like I haven't seen a single thing. It's early, but his kind of analogy and kind of comparing him a little to Shaheed kind of made my eyebrows raise a little bit, just a little bit.
Keep hearing about him, man. I mean, we'll see, but that could be a player. I keep hearing about DeMarco Jackson. He was drafted last year, right?
Yes, last year.
And got injured like real early in camp. So we have no idea what he could do. But I keep hearing dude just like super fast linebacker. Some people think he's gonna beat out Zach Bond. I'm like, well, okay, yeah, probably. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it's
what?
Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. We're like, okay.
But it's just interesting, like if he could be a factor, because that linebacker depth is atrocious. Like
trash, bro.
Like Demario Davis and Pete Werner, chef kiss, beautiful. After that,
woo,
just got a pretty.
Yeah, it is not good after that. The Taysom Hill also kind of has seemed like he's been noticeably missing all of the OTAs.
Not there,
and
bro, not there.
There are some big names, and I'm not saying the overall attendance has been bad, right? Because it hasn't been. But there's some names from Marshawn Lattimore, Paulson Adebo, Taysom Hill,
Lattimore vibes, bro. He just out there catching vibes,
bro. Andres Pete, which it's like, bro, can you be at OTAs, Pete?
Just whoop your ass, bro. Like,
be at OTAs.
Man, Taysom. Let's get back to Taysom, bro.
Let's go. Talk to me.
I am so fascinated by this because Dave went to pains length to pretty much fill every hole that Taysom fills.
Every single one of them.
Like running back, like he's basically been a running back, and he was a great running back last year.
Yep. So he was great in short yardage. That role is potentially filled by Jamal Williams.
The Cleveland game, the Seattle game, like dude was a beast. What happens to those snaps? Like, are you going to take Derek off the field, let him do direct snap? By doing that, you're not giving it to AK, you're not giving it to Jamal Williams, you're not giving it to Keandre Miller. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to have him in the tight end room again? You got two good tight ends now. It's like you're not a backup anymore, backup quarterback. Like, I don't know. Like,
and when DA was asked about it today, he said, like, the plan is for him to stay in the tight end room, which what he did last year. And it's like, okay, I need to see it. I need to see.
Yeah, like 70 yards as a tight end. So I don't. Like, I don't know. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know what to make of Taysom, because it's a weird position because he's saved the team so many times. Like,
yeah, man,
we screamed on the Zooms last year, like, why aren't you giving Taysom the ball? And now it's like, should he get the ball or should they give it to these other guys that they've collected? I don't know.
I mean, I would say, from a football standpoint, is that until all these other players that you've added, Jamal Williams, who I'm not like scared of him not working out as a signing, but like Jamal Williams, Foster Moreau, whoever, until like it's all about, I got to see it, because I feel like up to this point, Taysom has earned, or should have earned the benefit of the doubt of what he's able to do and what he's been able to bring to the team, which at times the offense has been dreadful. And he, at times he's been able to put the offense on his back, and the Saints were able to win games, especially that Seattle game, which I didn't watch because I was on the flying, but win games that they absolutely should have not had no business winning. No business winning. Like, let's not forget that the offense was looking so bad week one against the Falcons until Taysom started having some big runs. So,
right. And then Jameis came in and made some plays, but really Taysom kind of kicked it off.
He was the spark plug. So, like, while the roles that he has played in the past has been filled by other players, like, I need to see the other players take the ball out of his hands. Is the best way I can word it. Like
that's the perfect way to say it, bro.
take the ball out of his hands.
Take the ball out of his hands.
But until then,
he's not here. Like he's not here.
Right,
so like,
right. So that I don't know, man. I don't know. It just I don't think it would super shock me. I don't know. Could they trade him? Like, could they trade? I don't think I would be shocked for it. I would not be a fan of that trade because to me, even for like DA and his shenanigans, he has to know that he has to win this season. Yeah. So I don't want the Saints to be kind of like the whole CD thing, although that was a different thing entirely. But like it's okay. Like we got players that can play that role. We can afford to trade. Like, no, man, don't do that. Just who knows? A player could get hurt, and plus, like this, we're in OTAs. We don't get any training camp, or until like a player can take the ball out of his hands with their play. Keep giving him the ball and keep having him a part of the game plan. He makes the offense better when he is on. And he's such a unicorn type of player that's not a thing I would be seeking out to get rid of.
I agree, bro. I agree. And it's just going to be one of those things. We got to watch how it plays out because
when you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's like, what's going to happen with him? Like, if I was Pete Carmichael, bro, man, like, you should be in the lab right now.
Right now, Ryan.
It's cooking.
I'll be in the lab right now. You know what I'd be doing, bro? This, I don't know if Pete doing it. You know, Pete probably is. I won't say that you know what? I don't even know, bro. You know what he should be doing? I'm watching some of, like, the cut-ups from Kansas City last season. I'm watching cut-ups from like the Eagles and be like, okay, I got Taysom here and they had Jalen Hurts. Maybe I can look at some things that Nick Sirianni potentially did with Jalen Hurts as a runner that maybe bruh, there's so much tinkering. And if you're an offensive coordinator, besides the O-line that's in tatters, obviously, but assuming that O-line is decent, you should be looking at what you have available to you offensively, and you should be erect, bruh. Like, you should be like, ooh, like this is it, bruh. Like,
yeah. Real, man.
It's the Shannon meme, the Shannon Sharp meme where he drank the that's what Pete should be right now. Like, anyway, a couple more things hit on really quickly. Thoughts on the kicker competition?
Very fascinating, man. Like it's a real competition. Got Will Lutz. What's the other dude's name?
Is he like the fish? Is it groupie,
grouper, something like that.
No, that's Zeke Elliott, the roper.
But man, like from what I'm hearing, like the dude is hitting kicks, looking good, man. Like, so it's real competition for Lutz. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, we just got a guy. They had another kicker that they cut last week, I think, but now it's just down to 2. So I mean, we'll see, bro. I don't think it's like a fake competition. I think. Say what you want about DA, and we've both said a bunch. Like, it looks like he has competition pretty much at every spot on his team, bro. Like there's good competition at every spot on his team. And special teams was atrocious last year. So it needs to be better. It has to be better. So the kicking game, I'm not in love with anybody. I think Lutz probably has the edge. And I could see, maybe maybe the other kicker catches a tight hamstring or something and, gets hit on IR or something like that. But you never know, bro. Like it's going to come down to who's making the kicks and who they believe in. Because every kicker comes in as a young guy at some point, you know what I'm saying, and wins out the job. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm glad they brought in competition and not as like, oh, Will Lutz is the guy. And,
right.
He's been good for us. Because he wasn't terrible last year, but, man, he missed some bad kicks. He missed some bad kicks.
He missed a lot of, like to a point, all kicks that are missed are game-changing kicks. But, man, it's like the timing of the kicks he missed last season, bro. It
terrible.
Was
and
awful.
It's like we all knew. It's like,
yes.
I'm not about this shit.
Right.
This motherfucker. We all knew it.
We would all call it. We would all call it in the fucking the Zooms before it happened. All right. Anything else? Anything? So obviously with I believe it's like a 3-day mandatory mini camp next week. Our plan will be, I think Ryan and I we'll record next Wednesday because I will be in Vegas with the fam seeing Usher that weekend. So I want to make sure Usher baby. Want to make sure we get out a mini camp pod next week. So we'll record that Wednesday night. Yeah, because we're flying to Vegas on Thursday. Anything else? Just OTA-ish. I really like just a quick thing. I really like kind of just this the continued development of Chris Olave.
Yeah.
He had a damn good rookie season. We saw a lot of good things, but there was obviously when we kind of talked about it at nauseum of sometimes like he missed a catch and he didn't bring it in, or just little things, or just I got like, and it's just good to see he's kind of taking that next step on developing and being a good wide receiver, man. Like I think truly the sky is the limit of how good he can be, and it seems like he's adding on onto his good rookie season that he had.
Yeah, add on to that, he's adding on weight. I can't think he said he's like 192 pounds now. We'll see how that levels out over time, but he obviously went into the offseason wanting to get like stronger, stronger at the point of attack, which is what he needed to do. So yeah, that's huge, bro. He just, like ever since he came in, bro, he just always seemed like that professional wide receiver. And we have such a high bar for him. I mean, dude had over 1,000 yards as a rookie. And we're like, oh, you need to work on this, you need to work on that.
Right.
And that's just the high bar he set for himself. Like, we want him to be great. You know what I'm saying? And he wants to be great. He's under Mike Thomas's watch. Like, they've hung out all off season and working out together and stuff like that. So, yeah, like you said, bro, the sky's the limit for him. Just stay healthy and, keep grinding at it. Him and Shaheed, kind of rookies coming up together. I think it's going to be like a nice dynamic duo, bro.
I don't want to read Keith Kirkwood's name anymore, bro.
Why are we talking about him?
Don't know why is he there? I guess he's like a camp body, but can we keep Kirkwood out the paint? One last thing, and I don't know. I saw the discourse about it in our Discord, and I'm assuming something happened on Twitter where it was like maybe reported or hinted at that the Washington Commanders, potentially pass rusher Chase Young might be gettable. Leonard Floyd signed with the Bills. I've been saying pretty consistently that if a team made a good define whatever you define by good, a good trade offer to Washington for Chase Young, that he's gettable, and it seems like that's kind of what the buzz is becoming, quote unquote, official now. And
they're not trying to throw him away; they just
right. Yeah. So it goes back to this thing, right? The team has kind of painted themselves as all in, and they did kind of similar last season as well. If you want to be all in, okay, this is if you want to show to me that you're all in as a team, you want to win and you're serious about it, you trade the Raiders a 4th round pick, you get Hunter Renfrow in, and trade Washington Denver's 2nd round pick next year, contingent that there's already a reasonable long-term deal worked out with Chase Young. And there you go, man. There you go. You all in. You've revamped your defensive line. You don't have to, and not that I think that they're, banking on anything with Peyton Turner, but like whatever you get from Peyton Turner is just like icing on the cake.
Right.
Like if it was me, if I was in the front office, that is the move. Those are the 2 moves I would be banging the table for right now to really, because if you take that team with those 2 players that I just said, you added them to this Saints team. I know we keep saying hashtag on paper, and I get it, but that's one of the best teams in the NFC. Like
easy,
like for real, bro. Like that is one of the best teams in the NFC.
Easy, bro, easy. And but they have to show it, man.
They do.
Man, it's gonna be so fascinating to see how all this works out, especially with the coaching. Like, can these players make these coaches better? That's what I want to see.
That's the $1 million question, man.
It looked like DAs. Like I was just looking at Football Outsiders DVOA. Like it's crazy. The Saints have had a top 10 defense since 2017.
That's wild, man.
Under DA, that's wild, bro. Like that's something you can hang at, because we talk about how defenses they go up and down every year, but to have a top 10, most of them top 5 as far as Football Outsiders DVOA, which you can look it up and see what that means, but I think it's pretty accurate as far as like telling the true story of how good a team or defense is. I mean, that's pretty good, but man, this year is the big test because a lot of moving pieces have changed out. So it's going to really tell a tale of where coaching and player skill sets meet. You know what I'm saying?
Going to tell a huge, huge story. All right, don't want to go too long. Just wanted to get on here, have a quick chat regarding OTAs, Michael Thomas, and just other little nuggets before mandatory minicamp, and then we'll be back next Wednesday recording an episode on our minicamp thoughts up to that point, and then after mandatory minicamp, bro, like it's crickets.
Goodbye.
Crickets. When does training camp start? Does training camp start when I'm on vacation?
July 26th or something like that.
Okay. I'll be back from vacation. I was like, man, I was like, if they start training camp while I'm in Hawaii, like, this podcast just gonna have to wait till.
Wait, bro. It'll be all right.
Wait, bro. Anyway, thank y'all for the support as always. Thank you for listening. As the dog days of the off season go on, sometimes Ryan and I have to kind of really think about, okay, what can we talk about? What content are we able to talk about and record for this episode? But luckily it's been coming pretty consistent for us. And, the Saints being the Saints always give us something to talk about. So thank y'all for the continued listens. Thank y'all for the support. We appreciate it. For all the, Patreons that we have, all the new Patreons that we have, we continue to get. We appreciate that. Our goal our goal still is to get to 200 Patreons. We're 11 away.
But go about 2 years, boy.
I know, bro. I do feel like we'll hit it. Like I am like 90% confident that once the season starts, that we'll hit it. But my goal is for us to hit it prior to the season starting. So if you are a fan and you have been listening and you want to become a Patreon and you kind of just been like, just even if, like Ryan said, a $1 Patreon, we're really trying to get those last 11 Patreons so we can hit our goal. But thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for just being an amazing community. Thank you for all the feedback. Shout out to the guy on Twitter who reached out to us and let us know about Ryan's audio and it being kind of low. And I know I believe Mark in our Discord kind of brought the same thing, so we troubleshooted that, so his audio should be good to go. No more it being low. But truly, we appreciate y'all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So any continued support, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, please continue retweeting, liking, all that stuff, putting it on, put it in your story on Instagram. Everything that we put on social media, we appreciate it, because the more eyes, the more engagement we get on the podcast, the better it is, that we can get more people listening and continue to build and grow our community, which is ultimately what our goal is about, is just building on the great, amazing community that we've built and just making it bigger, man. Just making it bigger and keep reaching it. So with that, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Wednesday to record the mandatory minicamp podcast episode. With that, we're out.
Peace.
There was a time when sunlight turned the earth into a gallery, when elegant estates welcomed works of art that drew us closer and closer together. It was a captivating time. It was spring, this spring at Biltmore. Plan your visit or overnight stay so you can enjoy the marvelous works of Chihuly while every corner of Biltmore blooms. Reserve now to get spring savings at Biltmore.com.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.